Hi, welcome to another episode of the Leadership Enigma. I hope that you can listen to all of the episodes of the Enigma on all your major and favorite podcast platforms. But you can and you must watch the YouTube videos now on our new channel, because this is just a game changer for us. We've got amazing guests. We're going through the back catalogue. We must have 60 to 70 hours of as yet unseen footage, and every single episode that we're recording now is going to go onto that YouTube channel. Please subscribe, follow, connect, give us feedback. Who should we be talking to? What should we be talking about? Help us with all of that. And in the spirit of human-centered leadership, I want to talk to the next leader in relation to his focus on people, his focus on kindness, his focus on the development of others, and some of the experiences that he's had in life, which in some ways have directed him now as regards the leader he is and the leader we are all still becoming, and him too. Come back to me just after this, where we're talking to the wonderful Giovanni Masala.
You're listening to the Leadership Enigma, powered by Transform Performance International, a podcast for the insatiably curious to explore the power of human-centered leadership to create real momentum for positive and sustainable change. Whether you're an entrepreneur, business owner, or corporate executive, each week we speak to global experts, academics, rising stars, ambitious upstarts, and disruptors as we discover that success leaves clues. Now, here's your host, Adam Pacifico.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining me today. Thank you very much for having me with you.
It is great to see you, my friend. How are you? Now, I haven't really given any background here, but Giovanni, how would you describe your background to the listeners and indeed the watchers of the Leadership Enigma?
So as you said, I'm a fan of people in every single dimension and direction. I've been in sales and leadership position in IT environment since 1999.
Right.
I'm 54. I'm still feeling 18.
I know that feeling, by the way, Giovanni. I know that feeling.
I'm currently in the leader of the business and the relationship between VMware and Dell Technologies. And last day I got a new promotion, so I'm also in charge for Dell, Fujitsu, Lenovo, Cisco, and Hitachi.
Ah, congratulations then.
Yeah, and so Europe, Middle East, and Africa. And in my personal life, I'm a coach. I'm helping a charity organization as a coach. I went through 2 years of master to become a professional coach.
Right.
And I'm doing this only for charity because I really need to do something for other people as my give back to what I got from the life. And yes, I mean, what I've seen in the last few years before and after the pandemic really is kind of new normal in terms of the leadership style. Has changed a lot. Yeah. And so I'm still learning from everybody. How to people are my mirror, so I can really get from people I love the feedback approach. Sometimes we are we're resilient to ask for spontaneous and feedback, but I think this is the best way to embrace our development journey as a person, as a professional, as a leader, in every single role, in every single company.
Right. Well, Giovanni, let me start with this question. And by the way, congratulations on the promotion as well. In your role as a senior leader within your business, why is leadership so important to you? Why is it such a focus?
So as you said in the introduction, the power of the kindness, people and performance, the relationship, what I've been learning from other people, this is the foundation of my life, learning from other people.
Right.
Okay, I have a lot of books here, but the best interesting book are people. People are such a kind of a gift in my life that I can really describe. So the leadership model has changed because during the pandemic, doing this kind of Zoom or Teams barrier, as a leader, as a manager, as an employee, everyone should be able to capture some different signal from other people, about health, about energy, about family, about stuff that were not, in the office, you can really understand if your colleagues are in good shape, not good shape. You can talk, you can share, stuff about family, about struggle, about good things that are happening in their life. But with this kind of new barrier, we went through a journey where the leadership model requires a new additional skills.
Right.
Okay? So the emotional intelligence capability is one of the most interesting area of improvement in my personal experience. So I was told from many about some exit interviews or some other interviews, I'm leaving this company, not only VMware, but other company, because my manager doesn't understand the way I'm feeling in the last 3 months, 4 months.
Right.
That's your point. It's about people.
There's not what you're describing there is there's sometimes a lack of connection with people, and the pandemic really created a lack of human proximity. And if you add those two together, many people left, didn't they? Many people voted with their feet and decided to go and find what they needed elsewhere.
Yeah, and also, fortunately, some good stuff that we got from the pandemic is a more agile, let's say, opportunity across the world, because many people left and many people had a new opportunity in changing company and job and profile due to the pandemic. But as a matter of fact, they said, I need a manager that the new leaders must take care about my health, my life, with authenticity. I need to trust this new leader. A new leader is really, to be back on something that is our foundation. So we are, first of all, people, then performance. We can't change the paradigm. So before the pandemic, give me your number. What are you doing? And what's your performance? Let's review the performance and so on.
Right.
Today, we should change our agenda. We should have 2 different meetings. The first meeting is, how are you?
Yeah.
What are you doing? What's your life? Is everything going well? How can I help you? And if you don't have this kind of sensibility and this kind of natural, let's say, heart attitude in taking care about people will smell immediately that you are not authentic.
No, I agree with you. And you mentioned a couple of things. You mentioned health and life, and I'm going to come back to that because, you had a momentous event in your life, which is very much geared towards health and life. But before I go there, Giovanni, you also used a phrase I want to come back to. You said something like that people are the mirror for yourself. I love that phrase. Just help me understand what you meant by that.
About emotional intelligence, my behaviors, I can really measure the quantity, but more importantly, the quality of my behaviors.
Yes.
That's of respect, communication, effectiveness, trust, recognition, by the feedback I'm getting from other people. But as I told you, you can ask for a feedback and then you can get feedback. But you can lose hundreds of feedback just without being able to watch the face,
right,
smile or not a smile, from your colleagues, from your friends, from people in a bar, And so this is what the way we should equip ourselves in a different way.
Yeah. And so let me now ask you about the events of 2005, because you had an incident or a life event at 2005, which, well, you describe what happened, Giovanni, and then let's take the story from there.
Yeah, it was a big crash accident. I was just with my motorbike waiting for the green light, and we went through a very interesting journey. 2 months in a coma, 2 years and a half to be back visiting my customers. And today I can easily share with everybody this was not an accident, it was a gift.
Okay.
I was already aware about what in life is relevant. Okay, no doubt. But for example, about people, about mirror, about behaviors, we are what we do. We are not what we said. No, when I wake up from the coma, I was waiting to see some people.
Right.
In my room, and I saw a different people community.
Tell me what you mean by that.
Yeah, I was waiting for some, I don't need to mention name, but I was waiting for some parents and so on and on.
Yeah.
And no one was there.
And
because we need to do a lot of stuff. I'm very busy today. So I know that Giovanni had this kind of big accident, but I will find time to call Giovanni when, we'll see.
right.
Then the good news is that in the other side of the room, I found a lot of people that was not expected to be there.
When you woke up.
Exactly. So I said that's life, I was just spending a lot of time giving a lot of love and attention to a bunch of people that were not deserving this kind of treatment.
Right.
Underestimating other people, community that were in love with me. Customers, people
Wow.
just that was not in my top priority friend list and so on. And so it was a great opportunity to develop myself, to really understand what is relevant in life, our actions. I want to demonstrate my love. So people visiting me every day, sending me WhatsApp message every single day.
Right. Who were concerned about you and cared. And Giovanni, I have no idea what it's like to go through what you've just described, but do you feel that was a shift or a turning point in your life as a human being?
Yes, because I'm very proud to say that when I became a people manager in 2010, from 2010 to 2015, I was not really a good manager.
Okay, tell me a little bit more. What do you mean by that?
I was just focusing on performance.
Right.
In a fair way, but not really taking attention to people, life, and so on. Before the COVID, obviously, but 2010 to 2015.
Yeah.
And then I realized I went to a 1 year of coaching with an executive coach. That now is a friend, and this was a life changer. So I really, instead of changing only my performance, I really start realizing how it's important to take care about people. To treat people in a really sensitive way, changing the 10 to 19, so listening 90% of the time and sharing my thoughts 10% of the time. And with colleagues, with friends, with enemies, with the customers, with parents. And so basically, in summary, after 1 year of coaching, I realized that every single individual needs to take care about his life. He needs to develop, he needs to improve his personal life in order to be a good also ambassador, an example, in a work environment.
A role model, yeah.
If you have some problem about your past life and so on, and you're not able to elaborate in a positive way this kind of past problem, the past will live in the present and will impact in your future personal and professional performance.
You mentioned something which I want to come back to. You actually said that the incident in 2005, and I'm a motorbike rider as well, by the way. Well, my wife hasn't allowed me to ride a motorbike for some years, but that's something else. Well, James is giggling. No, she hasn't, and I understand why. We have children too. You described 2005 as a gift, not an accident. Tell me a little bit more about that. That's a very powerful statement, Giovanni.
Yeah, it's a relationship between quality and quantity.
Tell me more. Okay.
I think one of the most exciting startup that I would like to launch is about time management.
Right.
Because in reality, most of the time, we are unconsciously incompetent about the relevance of our time every day.
Mm.
And when you spend 2 years and a half to walk every morning at 6 o'clock to do your physiotherapies and so on, then you can really realize, you need to be back on walking 10 meters, 20 meters,
right,
100 meters, and so on. So basically, back to the time, the relevance of the time, is the gift, because I'm not inclined to spend my time in making wrong behaviors. I'm not inclined to waste my time with people that want to have a improper discussion.
right.
I avoid any single, let's say, person that want to stay in the negative tunnel. Okay, so I can't change people's behaviors. I can influence.
Right. Okay.
They need to become ready to be audible, ready to be conscious of their needs to change, to move from the tunnel to a fantastic lake, So I'm just investing my time as best as I can.
Giovanni, do you feel that the events of 2005 made you more discerning, made you more picky in relation to who you would spend your time with and where you would spend your time and focus? Do you think that was part and parcel of the impact?
Indeed. Yes, it was. I have a new filter.
Right, okay.
That's a metaphor, a new filter. So basically the filter is that the life is a gift, but not is a gift when you are, because you need to have another accident to be, let's say, conscious of this kind of stuff. It's a gift. Every day is a gift. So really, I enjoy my I was looking for to have a peace in my deep, in my stomach, the relationship between my two brains, my heart and my stomach. Okay. And when you have this kind of fantastic balance, which is, is not, you need to conquer this kind of balance and atmosphere with yourself. It's a magic moment.
Okay. And many people have events in their life which they look back on as catalysts for change. And so you've had the incident of the accident, which you're calling the gift as well, in 2005. Then also the coaching, the executive coaching, which was hugely influential in relation to the people manager, people leader that you've become. Talk to me now about the leader that you have become. And again, it's wonderful to hear about your promotion. But again, at the heart of who you are and what you do, which is why we want to have this conversation, is your extraordinary focus on people. So what are you doing now as a senior leader to really leverage that, the focus on people, developing people?
So first of all, VMware is one of the most beautiful company I never worked with in terms of cultural approach.
Right.
There is a lot of respect. There is a lot of aim to understand where we need to improve. Attention in people development. And it's difficult to say I'm a good leader and to be today with you sharing, and I'm not comfortable because it's part of my DNA,
Yeah.
Say I'm good. So my methodology is the following: sharing with you some example.
Okay.
So when you get some feedback here from people, so I'm developing talent, but also lower performance people, because it's easy to develop talent. Right. In reality, it's not easy, but it's also difficult to develop people with low performance.
Okay.
And when you grow people, when you grow a team, when you grow performance, when you drive, when you change behaviors, when you change perspective, coaching is really how to move people from one specific awareness to another specific awareness. Okay, this is the heart of the coaching. But the result are the following. One of my managers told me, I said, no, you need to apply for this new job outside of my team.
Yeah.
And she said, no, I want to stay with you. I go, why? You need to move. 5 years in a row with this team. You need to evolve. You need to fly. I say, no, because you are taking care about myself, my family, my energy, my health. And I was like, I said, I had to stop the session to say, I need to do something else. And then I was thinking about this kind of stuff. I was really pleased in the deep of my heart to hear this kind of stuff because
Very flattering.
as a matter of fact, today, but also since the beginning of the career, I mean, people are not leaving company.
Correct.
That's it. I'm not reinventing the wheel. But why? And why more frequently? Because now some stuff, some leadership, some management characteristics are non-negotiable. If you don't take care about people are, I say you, hello, see you, because they don't want to stay with you. They want to have people that really are focusing on performance, but also taking care about some specific stuff, about life.
And let me just interject there, Giovanni, because I had a panel only last week of Gen Z and millennials in the studio who talked about the importance to them of real personalized leadership and a leader or manager who really understands them, every aspect of them, not just about their performance, but their pets or their kids or their family background or their neurodiversity, whatever it might be. They wanted that closeness of connection, the human proximity, and the personalization of leadership. Are you finding that as well in your organization, that the younger generation are really thriving to try and have that personal connection with their leaders?
I love this question.
Oh, that's good. That's good feedback for me.
I love this question. It's a very, very exciting question. So I have my reverse mentor.
Right. Tell me about that.
And it's a unbelievable journey. So I'm 54, still, as I said, feeling 18. But I'm shocked when during the session, this lady, she has a 29, something like this, 30 years old.
Yep.
But her attitude in really sharing with me new perspectives, giving me new opportunity of reflections.
Right.
In a very natural way, spontaneous way, without having this barrier of I have my mentor is a senior leader, And this kind of atmosphere during the session is a really a gift. It's a gift because I'm comfortable. I'm like with my son. I can share everything. It's like to be with my mom, with the best of friend of mine, in front of a glass of Chianti, sharing everything without any kind of
no judgment.
Yeah, and you can really get something that you can. I'm 54 years old. I'm in the market since 1999. I overachieved 80 quarters in a row of the 87th quarter, but I'm nothing. She's better than me. She's better than me because I was not thinking to approach this kind of stuff with this kind of perspective. It's amazing. So that's why we need to keep the door open in terms of development.
And I'm hearing about that.
Every people can contribute and will contribute to our personal development and success if we have the humility to keep our door open.
Yes. Well, that's such a powerful piece, the humility piece. And also when I had the conversation with the youngsters who came in the studio, it was that they wanted to make sure that their voices were being heard. And again, from the example that you're giving us, it sounds as if in this reverse mentoring example, that person's voice is really being heard.
Absolutely. But also, because we can learn, but that we can also apply some learning. Otherwise, And also after 3, 4, 5, 6 months of my reverse mentoring, now for example, I love to create some development life situation. So I'm asking some of my team to do some stuff on my behalf.
Right.
obviously with the appropriate preparation and so on. But it's nice because you can see the new oxygen, going to the brain. Okay, I need to do this in behalf of Giovanni, so I can practice. I'm in a struggle, but is the way people need new challenges, need new, let's say, energy, new situation where they can measure their skills and will, which is two different components of our, let's say, performance.
And am I right in thinking, Giovanni, that this passion that you have for kindness, for human-centered leadership, let's call it what it is, and that's very much a focus of many of the conversations I have on the podcast, that actually this is outside of your organization as well? Am I right in remembering at one of our previous conversations that you're doing things within the community, aren't you?
Yes, thanks to VMware, I launched the charity team in Italy in 2015, helping concretely, not only with money, but doing something together with this organization.
Tell us about that, yeah.
In Rome, is the calcio sociale in English, is social football. This crazy guy, an ex-policeman, managed to build 15 years old ago a new football format.
Right.
Why social? Because instead of going through the competitiveness and so on of the standard football that we all like, basically, just to summarize, he's allowing people, 3 years old, 75 years old,
right,
people with some problems in terms of handicap and so on, going together and playing the game together.
Right.
Okay, nobody can do 3 goals, no more than 3 goals. After 3 goals, you need to help all the other components of the game. That's the social. Before and after the game, there's a brainstorming. We cook some pasta, some pizza together. We say together, we allow people, obviously coming from a ghetto,
yes,
very, very devastated social reality, to enjoy with simplicity this kind of atmosphere, and to build new relationship, so they can basically escape from the trouble, and they can see the opportunity to build something good in their life. That's this social community, this calcio sociale.
Right.
But most importantly, just to go to your point, I need to do something for some other people, not because I'm a good person, because I got a lot of stuff in my life from my parents and from my friends. And what I've been learning is that we can't walk through our life without doing anything for the other people. We don't need to be a superhero to change it, to improve the society. Everybody, every single day, smiling to the person that is giving you a coffee, helping colleagues that is to the coffee machine, in trouble for
so
some
small
stuff.
things. Small things can make a big difference.
Small thing is a very powerful revolution where everybody can contribute in making this society more sustainable, more kind, and more diverse also.
Giovanni, what keeps you going with this so passionately, both internally for the organization and externally? You just talked about how you're giving back to the community as well. What is your fuel that just keeps you going and keeps you, focused on this direction?
People reaction.
Okay.
People reaction. People, when you see people in the social football, in a forecast call, in a diversity, equity, inclusion meeting, in front of just a glass of beer and so on, enjoying the conversation,
right,
keeping some sugar for their blood, smiling, trying to move step by step in a more positive angle and perspective of our life. This is what is paying back. This is my motivation, what makes my motivation going forward.
Okay. And I always say to leaders and senior leaders like yourself, we're all work in progress. So what are you still working on for your leadership, Giovanni?
The reverse mentoring is my first lab, the most important lab, because it will really give me the awareness that I need to improve a lot.
Right.
I need to improve a lot. And then when you really, from a cultural perspective, when you are really in love with your area of improvement, you can really enjoy your life, because as a matter of fact, we all have tons of area of improvement. And basically, my next step, I'm now more deeply involved in the social football organization.
Right.
I have 3 laboratories.
Yeah, tell us about the laboratories.
Yeah, laboratories basically, I'm working is a team effort. There is a team of psychologists, because obviously you need to have a proper support that are elaborating this kind of life struggle in a proper way. There are 3 segments of people in terms of ages. There is a 19 years old, very tough laboratory. Okay. There is a 14 years old and 10 years old.
Right.
Okay. Males and female together. So what we have been building is this kind of laboratory where basically we are, as a coach, as a psychologist, all together, we are building 3-4 hours of activities. Okay, the format is always the same. We play some nice game together, okay, to raise the atmosphere, to enjoy the time, and to bring people on board, because obviously it's not a mandatory, nothing is mandatory.
Right.
So after the football match, we are preparing some food, then we play some game, and then we run a brainstorming about what you're feeling, what you like, what you don't like, and so on. Gotcha. So people can connect together and contaminate in a positive way with this kind of smile or natural. I love the session. Today I love the food. I love the atmosphere. So there's a kind of a final feedback session,
right?
In a very spontaneous way. So tell me one word about tonight. I was lovely. And so you can really build the new atmosphere. Keep the new atmosphere, building and keeping a new atmosphere, positive atmosphere, with people that are living in a very difficult situation.
Right.
So every Tuesday from 8 to 1 o'clock, and every Friday, I have these 2 labs on a bi-weekly basis.
Right.
And that's my new journey.
So you are giving a huge amount of energy to people, both internally with the organization and externally as well. And, I wanted us to have this conversation because it really does embody the power of kindness and human-centered leadership. And it's something that people know now that I'm passionate about and continue to try and investigate and be curious about. I want to come back to Gen Z and the millennials, because they are going to make up the majority of the workforces of all organizations in just a few years. With all the experiences that you've had and your passionate focus on people, what advice would you give to the younger folk coming through organizations who are going to be the senior leaders and who are going to be the legacy of all of these organizations? What would you say to them?
Now more than ever, authenticity.
Right.
You can be only who you are. So especially where you're young, you have the passport, so you can be who you are. Without any kind of, adjustment in terms of political situation.
Right.
So be who you are, share your idea, because a new organization needs new ideas. That's a powerful one.
Yes.
Don't be afraid to share your ideas. It's obviously you need to prepare. You need to understand if your ideas
have a voice.
Share your ideas, and also be accountable in helping every single colleagues every single day, because the young people they don't have any kind of background barrier or infrastructure, or they can really
freedom.
Yeah, they can really act with more effectiveness compared to people like me that 54. So I know what you say. I don't know what you say. I need to say. more really reliable and free to share everything.
Okay.
And then try to find new challenges, new opportunity of grow, trying to really share what you want to do. Because why I have such kind of energy? If today I will be able, or tomorrow, or in the past, I will be able to share and contaminate few managers, 3-4 managers with this kind of, taking care about people first, and so methodology on how to develop, how to assess and to develop people, I can change the company and the society in a more effective way. It's the one-to-many approach. I want to contaminate in a positive way with authenticity people, with good stuff, good technique, also good, let's say, core value, life value, so they can really be the new ambassador of this kind of core values and so on. Otherwise, I mean, how can I change the society? The only way is to contaminate our people, And so for the youngest, I mean, they really, I'm coaching some new hire across EMEA, in the MENA region, in the Saudi region, and so on. Sometimes what I've seen, and I'm worried about this kind of trend, is that they want to do too much. They are raising the bar. Happiness will be if I will achieve 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But I said I'm just trying to coach, not mentor, because this should be a psychological switch.
Right.
You can't say this is not right. You will never succeed.
But certainly enjoy the journey.
Yeah, a lot of new teenagers are struggling to find their happiness because the paradigm so far they have is I will be happy if I'm going to achieve 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. In reality, it's the opposite. I'm happy because I have a good health, good friend.
Well, and you know more than anyone what it's like to have good health.
Yeah, and then because I'm happy, this is my foundation. Then I will do everything better.
Yeah, I love that advice. I really do. And the future of all of our businesses are that younger generation. So, which is why I wanted to ask that question. Giovanni, how can people get in touch with you if they want to, find out more about what you're doing, joining the conversation? I don't know. What's the best way?
LinkedIn profile. There is some people also that share their personal experience working with me as a coach or as a manager. LinkedIn profile will be the best channel. I'm always available, and I will find a way to stay in touch with other people.
Brilliant. Listen, thank you so much for taking the time to join me on the Leadership Enigma. It's been a real pleasure. And again, I appreciate these conversations. I really do. They're inspiring, they're humbling, and I hope they are helping people somewhere, somehow, on the YouTube channel and also on the podcast platform. Let's share these messages. Giovanni, thank you so much.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. All right. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Join us again next week for more tips and strategies on the Leadership Enigma. We'd love to hear your comments on today's show, as well as suggestions for future topics and guests. Get in touch with your host on LinkedIn or visit the dedicated website, www.leadersenigma.com, powered by Transform Performance International, where you can access our exclusive learning, including books, videos, bonus content, assessments, and more. Please don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe on all your major podcast platforms. Thanks for listening.